What's going on YouTube? This is Marcus. Are you interested in finding out what can I do to put myself in a better position to win moving forward in the new year in 2021? Well, stay tuned because we're going to go over the top 5 things that you can do to close out 2020 and to set you up for financial success in 2021. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. The number 5 thing is acknowledge any financial victories that you had in 2021. 2021. Look at me. I'm already shooting forward because I'm ready for 2020 to be over with. But acknowledge any financial victories you had in 2020. I mean, 2020 has just been a difficult year in general, between the pandemic, employment, people dealing with their own family, financial adversities. Here's a good time to reflect and identify those good habits that you had during the year with your finances. It could be paying off a car, paying off a credit card, being able to make all of your payments on time, being able to make all of your payments on time for the second half of the year. It could be not accumulating any new consumer debt. So here's a good chance to identify those victories that you had in 2020. And if you're thinking, everybody can identify one. But if you can't identify one, this is a good time to actually go to the drawing board and come up with those goals that you want to set for 2021. The number 4 thing that you should do to kind of close out 2020 is reflect and take a bird's eye view of your finances and your expenses. This is a perfect time if you actually set up a budget during 2020 where you can actually go through, look at your yearly expenses, identify ways that you can reduce your expenditures moving forward in 2020, maybe eliminate a few things in the budget, or potentially gain other employment. But this is a good time just to reflect, look on your budget, identify areas where you felt like you may have had a little bit of waste, where you could have saved some more money, and identify those target areas so you can move forward in 2021 without making those additional expenditures that you don't need. Now, if you haven't been budgeting in 2020, again, this is a perfect time to actually start budgeting. I mean, you have to have a blueprint to get, or a roadmap to get to a destination you want to make. You'll never know that you're spending $150 on Starbucks if you don't actually do a budget and can track and see how much money that you're spending at Starbucks. Not that I drink that overpriced stuff, but I'm just using that as an example. The number 3 thing that you need to do to put you in a position to win moving forward, close out 2020 and move forward in 2021, is create a yearly financial budget. I mean, I think this is really important. A lot of times we compartmentalize and create a budget just for the month, and we move through that budget piece by piece by piece. But this is a perfect time to get a good reset, because what you want to do by creating a yearly budget, it gives you a bird's eye view on your finances. You can know how much of your salary do you allocate towards rent and mortgages. You can identify how much you allocated or may have to allocate in a year for car repairs, those holidays, birthdays, anniversaries. Come on, we know every year at the same date Christmas is going to occur. So this is a perfect time to get a good year-long financial plan so you can set those goals for those vacations, Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries. You can come up with a plan to develop and to put those things and create sinking funds to put money aside to have for when those times come up. Like any other process, you can't evaluate success if you don't have a data point that's measurable. If I make engines, I can't say I'm the best creator of engines in the world if I don't know how many engines am I producing, how long does it take me to produce the engines, the customer satisfaction rate, the error rate or defect rate in my engines. So in being able to identify those data points, it works the same with your finances. If you can go through and create a yearly budget, use information from 2020 to be able to anticipate potential expenses and plan for expenses in 2021, that'll put you in a great position to move forward. The number 2 thing that you should do is set quarterly goals when it comes to your spending moving forward in 2021. So we already established the importance of having a yearly financial budget. Again, it's very important because it gives you a bird's eye view. But what's the point of creating a goal if you don't have an action plan with steps to get there? A goal without an action plan and steps is just a wish. It's just something that you wrote down and stuck on the refrigerator, and you look back 9 months later and didn't do any of it. And I know because I've stuck goals on the refrigerator before, and I look back around October and say, damn, I ain't do any of this stuff. So you want to set quarterly goals. So what I like to do is once I establish my year financial spending plan, my yearly budget, then I'll set myself on pace to make sure I can hit those goals. As an example, I intend to pay $40,000 this year towards my student loans. So in order for me to hit $40,000 every quarter, every 3 months, I have to be paying about $10,000 or $10,000 to make sure I can hit that budget. The benefit of doing it every 3 months quarterly is if you're behind, it gives you a good chance to catch up, potentially make adjustments. Some people like to, do a quick review at the 6-month mark, but me personally, I feel like the 6-month mark, you kind of let too much time lapse. So create your yearly budget. Then every 3 months, what you want to do is just kind of take a look at your budget, see where you are, see if you're on pace to meet those goals. If in the first 3 months I only spent $8,000 towards my budget or towards paying off that student loan debt, I know that I'm $2,000 behind my goal. So now I can anticipate to allocate additional money and start to look for it in the budget where I can allocate it. Or in those instances, it's not uncommon and it's not crazy to maybe have to readjust your goal to something that may be more manageable if you have variations or influx in incomes or some crazy emergency or something to that effect pops up. But you definitely have to set an action plan with quarterly goals so you can make sure you're on pace to meet your yearly financial goals, whether it's savings, investing, or paying down debt. And the number one thing that you have to realize, and this really just is a mental thing. Like someone once told me, in order to move a mountain, you got to start moving one rock at a time. Everything takes a little bit of hard work. It takes a little bit of patience. So you need patience, you need a lot of planning, and if you have those two things, you'll have perseverance. We're so familiar with the phrase, I think from the Bible, that says, faith without works is dead. But the problem is, a lot of times we get caught up in the faith part and forget to do the actual work. If I'm sitting under a tree and I'm starving and I'm sitting underneath a daggone apple tree, I can have all the faith that I want that I'm going to get fed eventually. But if nothing falls down, I may have to turn around and climb my ass up the tree to get something to eat. So with that being said, you have to put a little bit of work in, you have to put a little bit of planning in, you have to be patient, and with that, you'll be able to achieve your goals and achieve your financial goals. I don't care if it's financial, health, physical, fitness, relationships. That's really the blueprint for attaining any goal. You want to have a little bit of patience, you have to have a lot of bit of planning, some perspiration because you have to put in the work, but if you do that, you'll definitely persevere. I like that. That's 3 P's: patience, planning, preparation equals perseverance. Oh man, I'm gonna put that on the t-shirt. Don't nobody steal it. But yeah, that's the fundamental blueprint for anything. So as we kind of close out this year, this is just a good time to kind of reflect on what you've done in the past financially, what you can do better moving forward in the future, and take the steps to be able to plan out things using that yearly budget. Anticipate the events that you know are going to come up that you know you're going to want to do. And again, be consistent, have a little bit of hard work and patience, and with that, you'll be in a good position to move forward. That's what I'm going to do, and $40,000 towards my student loan debt is definitely going to be the goal, and I plan on keeping you all updated for the entire ride. So I appreciate you all tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment. If you comment, I'm definitely going to get back to you. And if you subscribe or you're thinking about subscribing, definitely hit that button and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, I really appreciate you. I appreciate you all viewing, and I hope this content can be helpful to y'all. Take care. Peace.